Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review for Rainbow Press and Comics, and in this Rainbow Press and Comics review I am reviewing Wind, which would be Volume 3 in connection to the series, Thrown in the Sky, and last but not least, Samurai Sonya, Issue 4. I'll now get things prepared for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So the first one I'll be reviewing will be Wind Issue 2, Thrown in the Sky. And first things first, does this art in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside of the story? It does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. I'll now move to showing some of the internal art around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, as well as some of the things that are happening story-wise. So as this story begins, we've got someone that's fleeing, or basically going into somewhat a refugee status in relation to some of the things that are happening, and they're looking at what they're doing to the humans in this earth as well. As we advance further in the story, around the midway point, we end up meeting with one of the members of royalty that is trying to find out what's happened with his son. And last but not least, one of the villain's armies invading a cave to see if they can find some of the people who they're looking for. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story. First things first, in relation to the story, did we get any comic references to any of the previous issues or any of the previous runs? No, we didn't. What about the area of time? None at all. But what did we get? So in relation to the locations, we got the Weird Woods, we had the Windshorn, and also the North Point. Even though a lot of it wasn't clearly brought up in some places, it definitely needs to clear up in fixing up those things, because you're going to lose a lot of audience members and a lot of readers if you don't. And the cast of characters consisting of Yorick, Bastion, Wind, Oakley, and of course General X, who is actually looking for his son. For the overall story rating, I decided to give this a 7 out of 10. Even though it's not a very strong beginning for the first 2 issues of this particular run, I definitely look forward to see what will be happening next. Now it's time to move to the next issue that will be reviewed, and that is Samurai Sonya. So as we return to Samurai Sonya, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. I'll now move to showing some of the internal art as well as some of the things that are happening story-wise as we look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So as this story begins, we have Sonya, and she's about to work on going into a little boat trip to somewhere. And one thing I think the storyteller in this didn't do a really good job of was showing the audience that what we're seeing here is a flashback. Because with these flashbacks, these would be great areas to sort of like give a time reference as to when this took place. And last but not least, to which Sonya ends up, attacking something that has basically taken the persona of her dead father, and to which it wants to somewhat yield. So for the internal art, I gave this a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move to the story rating. So first things first, did we get any comic references to any of the previous issues? Not at all. It would actually really help with this story. Next area is time. Did we get any indication of when some of these things were taking place in regards to time, even in regards to the flashback? Nope, not at all. It really needed it, and because of it, it cost you points. The location, of course, the location still remains in Japan, and the cast of characters just mainly consisting of Sonya and the person being Takeda, her father. For the overall story rating, I gave this a 6.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.